Go ahead and call the meeting to order. And Mike, would you do roll call for us, please?
Do that. Mayor White is obviously present.
Yep.
Trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Present.
Krugman is absent. Shetter is absent. Waterman
Present.
and White.
Yep.
Have Mayor Pro is present, have a quorum.
Thank you. And would you folks be kind to join me in the inside pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One thing I'd like to add onto the agenda here, I just got a call last night from Ron Brandow. So it was after the agenda. He's our engineer who does our road projects for us, puts them together for us. He wanted to know if we had any road projects that we're planning on doing this year, because he's gonna be down in this area from Dixon tomorrow and over Cambridge, one other town, and could stop by to speak to me about anything that we might be planning on doing. I have not heard anything from anybody about any needs, ultimate needs. So I'm gonna give him a call tonight, tell him that at this point, unless you guys have anything, at this point, I don't think we have any road projects for this year. Okay.
Maybe some crack sealer,
Okay.
after it warms
And,
up.
and that's available, but I guess to get the word out to you, if you have anything or notice anything in the next week, the sooner we get with him, the easier it is to put it on Henry County's schedule for the summer. So, if you can get with me, if you know of something that you really feel needs to be done, then we can bring it up next month to be talked about and approved and so on and so forth, but, just to get some information out to you guys. And then after that, we have, our first item. is
Jim,
the-
before we get into, can I just say something? Last month, Mike, you was way out of line when you got into it with Sherry. We're not gonna allow that anymore.
Well, I appreciate your opinion. Sure was way out of line getting involved with me in it, so
The
appreciate
name
your opinion.
calling and stuff is not gonna be
I
tolerated.
appreciate that opinion.
You will be removed if it happens again.
Well, I told you, just like I told you before, I doubt it, but,
We have an officer here.
we'll see. We absolutely do.
Well, if we have continued, disrespectful talk of any kind, I thought back in December that the people that should have been, available to remove somebody that's disrespectful should have done that. Thought I had that authority, but, you know, looking at the books afterwards, the mayor doesn't have authority to throw out one person, but the mayor can clear the whole room if it gets way out of order, so, from what I understand. But, you know, we're not gonna cite state statutes and so on and so forth, and,
Well, I
it'd
was
be a
just
lot better.
uncalled for last
Yeah.
month. I don't care who it is.
Okay, that was uncalled for on both sides, and if
Yeah.
you want to acknowledge that it's uncalled for on both sides, then I'll be more than happy to say, yeah, absolutely.
No, the name calling is uncalled for on anybody's side.
Well, disrespect and,
Yeah.
and uncourteous behavior is unnecessary from anybody. So whoever starts it, you know, we can start right there, but without pointing fingers or calling anybody any names, or naming names. Appreciate your comment on that, and appreciate the fact that you see that there shouldn't be disrespect and that type of behavior in here. Maybe we won't do that anymore, that'd be great. Then, if there's no other comments on that, we'll move to the May 21 cleanup week. I think last month we had made a motion and decided that we were gonna have May 21 be the cleanup week. Am I correct? Is everybody on board on that? With the possibility of having, yard sales the week before,
That's correct.
Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever that is.
17th, 18th, and 19th.
Okay. Just wanted to go back over that, and make sure that, that's still the plan. I would like to know that there's gonna be at least, a minimum amount of people participating. If we just have one or two people having a yard sale, and it frustrates, I think, from what I've heard, people that come out to citywide yard sales and then they end up seeing just one or two houses. Does anybody know if there's gonna be more, or does anybody have an idea how many people are interested in having?
No idea. I'm sure anyone's not gonna be able to plan anything unless we're actually gonna say we're gonna do it.
Okay, well, I see one hand up there in the audience. Sean, did you get it?
I've got about 5 to 7 people that are wanting to participate,
Okay, well, that's great,
yeah.
that's great. I
Yeah.
know we've done it in the
Which
past.
not very many, but,
Okay, well, I know we've done it in the past, and then there's been a couple times when we just had one or two.
right.
And it, as long as there's, we advertise it and we plan on doing it, and people wanna do it, I like the idea. It has been, it's something that's been a success for the town here in years past, so that'd be great. I see some flyers have been already put together. I didn't know how many different papers we were gonna advertise in.
I've got some information on that, Jim. Contact was made with the Enter County Advertiser, and we can run 2 ads at, I believe it was $11 a pop. If we do it for, be this coming week, has to be turned in by Friday, and then it'll run next Wednesday and the following Wednesday, and then the advertisement in the Dispatch would be for the following week to hold that up, and I believe that was gonna run as much as $125. I'm not quite
Yeah, I
sure
was
what the
thinking
exact
of that.
numbers were. I believe that's what the maximum was on it.
Well, that sounds pretty respectable. Everybody like
It'd
that?
be like 22, and 25 would be just shy of $150
Okay.
for advertising for those 3 days.
I don't know that we made a motion on that before.
No, I
Would
don't
somebody
believe
like
we
to?
did.
Go
Make a
ahead and
motion
make a
that we
motion
pay
on
for
that?
the advertising through the shopper and Dispatch.
Okay. Get a second on that? Richard second that, and all in favor of? We'll have to do a roll call vote on that since it's a, expenditure.
Okay. Motion is that, I can't read my own writing. Your motion is we.
Have advertisement through the dispatch,
Advertising.
shopper, and.
Advertising the shopper and the dispatch. Okay, and, on that, Valier,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
passed.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Thank you, fellas. And then that covers number 2, also at the same time, with the yard sales. I don't know why I didn't group those together. Anyway, that'll be number 1 and 2, clean up. We'll move on down to number 3. Bill Merrill asked, Resident Bill Merrill asked a few days back if he could have a moment here at the board meeting. So, Bill, you still
Yeah.
have something you wanted to say?
I think what I would want to direct my question to was trustee Krogman, but since she ain't here, I don't know whether the board is with her on this, but I want to know why me and my family have been singled out about a damn fence, an extension of a fence, when trustee Krogman has 2 fences in her yard, and Waterman's has a privacy fence in their yard that was put in about a year ago. I never heard anything about why they don't have to take theirs out. I was told that Cleveland now has, I needed a permit. I went and called the building inspector. He told me to contact the mayor or the clerk, and they would issue a permit, and when it was completed, he would inspect it. And that goes for another project and that. And I heard that that permit was issued illegally. And I just, like I say, I wanted to approach Trustee Krogman on it, but since she's not here, I want to know if the board agrees that you guys think that I should have to pull out my fence and she don't have to take out her fence, and one of the fences is she's got livestock in it. I was a alderman for 16 years, and all the time I was there, livestock was illegal. If it's changed since then, so be it, but do you agree? You agree I gotta take the fence out?
I'm not involved, I don't know much about this. You got.
Well, then why did she say that she had contacted the state? Why wasn't it brought in front of the board?
Well, and I guess my question is the building inspector come down and done his final inspection for you?
Yes, he did.
And he signed off on everything?
I don't know if he signed off on it, but he come down and he asked me if I was completed, and I was completed.
Okay, and I guess that's the final step of this. I mean, if he signs off on it that it's all good, then, you know, that's where we've got to go from there.
But why is she,
Whoever gives you the permit to put the fence in is gonna be liable, not you.
why is he?
Pardon?
I got the permit just the way I was told to get the
Yes,
permit.
that's why I'm asking. I
And
mean,
so-
because part of the ordinance and all the things that go along with it, he's supposed to sign off
Yeah.
on, everything's done the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So until we've got that confirmation from him, I don't know what else we can do at this
Yeah.
point. And as far as your question about whether we should or shouldn't take fences out, the only thing I can go back to is that from where I sit, we all kind of know what the story is around here.
Yeah.
And because you followed what is supposed to be done, you got the permit, then it comes back to those of us on the board dealing with the state agencies then if something's not right.
Then how come that this even come up?
I can't answer that.
I figure I've been harassed.
I do not speak
because-
for someone else. I'm not gonna speak for someone else. I don't know, Bill. I don't know. I don't know why she,
You haven't got something in place that you can tell them they was out of line? They should have brought it in front of the board in the first place?
I can't,
You can have 7 goddamn people calling everybody in every department in the state, finding out what the hell's going on, and you got 7 different answers on what is so.
when they're outside this
And-
boardroom,
Yeah.
they're citizens of this village just like everybody else is.
She has no, you're saying, she has no authority,
You
and
got something to say?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want to know who drove all the way down our lane to look at the permit on our garage.
I have no idea.
yeah.
Trespassing, harassing us, telling us they didn't like the way the permit was wrote, and John Malmstrom didn't sign it. Somebody drove all the way down our lane and had to get out of their vehicle to read it on the door. We live on a farm. We do not have to have one. John Malmstrom told us we did not have to have one. Who drove I want to know who drove all the way down there.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
And as far as you
somebody
live on a
knows.
farm, Linda,
The only-
you're
the only-
in the corporate limits of the village of
Claim that's
Cleveland.
no relevance.
And that farm concept went out the window when that piece of property was incorporated into the village of Cleveland.
We were told we did not have to have
Well,
one.
then, and
Well, we're gonna do
from that standpoint, I mean, show me some kind of documentation that that property is exempt based on that very specific concept, that it's rural and farm ground, because everything inside the corporate limits is subject to the ordinances that are in place in the village of Cleveland.
Well, he said we didn't have to have one.
Well, then we should probably have a sit down with the building inspector. And again, Bill, just to address your comment, what other people say, do, whatever, I have no control over.
This is supposedly from the board. Whether it's one person,
Supposedly,
yeah,
all I can say is, if you need it to be here at the board, we can have a special meeting specifically on something like that. But to bring it up here at the last minute and expect me to jump in and do all these things and give you a certified concrete answer, not gonna happen. Just like the lawyer says, I'm not gonna give you some kind of answer that I'm gonna hold myself to until I know more about what's going on here. Mr. Malmstrom told you some very specific things. I want to know that from him personally also. I'm not calling you a liar or anything. I'm just saying that if that's the way this is set up, he's got specific things that he's supposed to follow through on, and then I need to know, did he follow through on it?
you're one of them that okayed on April 6th of 2011 that I needed a permit for a fence.
No, I didn't okay anything.
Oh yeah, you agreed to it. It's the flood damage prevention ordinance on April 6, 2011.
Yeah, and I agreed to do what on that?
That you agreed to the ordinance.
Yes, that's correct.
Right,
Yes.
and I gotta have a permit for a fence.
Based on
So
what the
why,
state told us,
so why
yes.
am I getting harassed about a fence?
I don't know. I don't know. Specifically, I cannot tell you that.
Well, I think the board then should address the problem.
Probably very well. And I agree that something should be done
Yeah.
about, but an individual outside of this boardroom, I got no control over.
That's all I gotta
Well,
say.
well, thank you, Bill.
I think we have to have a meeting with our building inspector, so we can get him on tape with this ordinance. Because he has to follow the guidelines of that when he issues permits, and if he's not following the guidelines of that issuing permits, then we need to get rid of him and get somebody who will.
Because the interesting part of it is that the mayor and the clerk don't issue the permits based on our own ordinance, the building inspector does.
Right.
And so I'm a little confused
So
with
if
that.
he's not following the
If he's
guidelines
not
management
this.
ordinance, then he needs to be gotten rid of.
With it being a new ordinance that was just passed last year, with having a building inspector, which we never had for years, trying to create some consistency and standard that we go by.
I tried to get that on the agenda multiple times, Jim, and it never got followed through on.
Well, you need to have committee meetings to take care of those things.
This
and
is the
then-
committee right here,
Well,
Jim. This is the
This
committee.
is the council meeting right here, Leo.
No, this is the committee,
No,
Jim.
this is.
We
the
can
council.
discuss the public business right here in a public venue, just like we probably should be doing with all this other stuff. When it's outside of there, it's not constrained. This needs to be in the public venue.
Well, then it does, but
Bill, who signed your permit?
Huh?
Who signed your permit?
Sherry went over on my daughter's property and looked at it. You go over and look at it, see who signed it.
I just asked a question, who signed it?
And I just told you, you go over and look, find out for yourself.
Well, just move on.
I-
Skip this.
yeah.
He doesn't understand.
But it sounds like you need to have a separate committee meeting to
No,
talk
we
about
don't.
some of these things, one
Back
at a
up,
time.
Jim.
Yeah, you do.
For,
yeah. You guys,
Go back to 2.
you go back to 2 to the
Yeah.
village yard sale?
I was supposed to get some prices for the dumpster.
Okay.
Shauna was nice enough to do some calling. Her best price is Allied
Okay,
at $150 a dumpster.
how big?
That is a 5-ton, which is a 40-yard.
That'd be a pretty good price.
That's a hell of a lot better than we paid in the past.
Yeah, they've been like $300 in the past.
3.5.
And now that has them for 150 for the 40 yard.
Yes.
And they'll be on class too.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll switch them out as needed, so
Do you want to take care of ordering that?
I can. We need to make a motion, I guess. I'll make a motion to use Allied Waste for our cleanup dumpster. And I will be in charge of getting it here and getting it going.
Okay. Got a
There
motion by,
is, go ahead.
go ahead, we got a motion by Steve to have Allied then provide us with the dumpsters this year. Can you get a second on that?
Yeah, it sounds good, I'll second.
Pardon?
I'll second.
There, second by Rich.
They have a thing here, items not to be placed in the roll-off dumpster. Batteries, tires, appliances, e-waste, hazardous waste, medical waste, explosives, liquids. So, I think we probably need to get some copies of this and pass them out.
That and, you know, possibly make a bigger sign that's right there on the garage or on the dumpster, so people can see it when they come down.
You might wanna stick it right on the dumpster, Jimmy. You might wanna stick it right on the
Right on the
dumpster
dumpster.
on all four sides of it.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Then go ahead and do a roll call on,
Okay, on, using Allied, Bellier,
Yes,
Engelmann,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
White,
yes,
that's unanimous.
thank you, man. And then number 4, we got boat ramp project update. Anybody have anything on that? No, it was one of the items that was requested, put it on the program was requested. And she's not here.
waiting to, as far as I know, we're just hoping that Shane Dixon gets his Eagles badge.
Mhm.
He put the, he's got the mulch and the plants in, and there's a few trees planted, so he's waiting to hear from his higher ups.
So you could still possibly get a legal badge?
Possible. He was denied, but this was his last attempt. He hasn't heard back yet.
I saw you guys down there, last Sunday or whatever it was. And I didn't get invited to come down and help. Curious why.
If you'd attended our special meeting, you would have been. You drove by. You walked in,
Well, you had a special meeting, but nobody still called. So. Didn't get invited to go down and help on that. So. Anyway, it looks nice.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
Okay.
You know, if everybody's done good with the boat ramp, I do have something.
Mike, did you have something?
Yes. Along with you brought up respect and name calling and all of that business, I'll ask you. When I went down there, and I, filming and taking pictures of good things that happen in the village, I do that. I've got pictures of the road projects, I've got pictures of that video of that rock being moved, I've got all kinds of pictures of that. While I'm down there doing that, you walked over to tell the Boy Scout people that that's the guy who hates the Boy Scouts, him and the mayor. And I'm wondering why.
Probably because it is directly because of you two that this child might not get his Eagles badge.
Okay, that isn't true, it's directly because of
Because
you
you
four.
are the
he
one
may
that
not get
called.
his badge.
And turn him into every entity that you could think of. Now, do you want to tell everybody that you didn't call? No, I know you don't.
What I
Because
want,
that is public knowledge who calls.
what I
So you
want
can't
to,
keep that a secret.
what I want to tell everybody, as long
Could you say
as
it
you.
again, Steve, because I couldn't hear you? Could you tell everybody that he didn't do what?
That he's not the one that called and reported to the DNR and EPA and everybody trying to get that project stopped for that little kid, who we all agreed for him to do.
That is a flat lie. It is not a flat lie.
I wonder
that
how they got your
It
name
is not a
then.
flat lie that I called those individuals.
Okay, okay.
I called those individuals to find out why the four of you never bothered to get permits. And as far as hate the Boy Scouts, let me, for the record, tell you also, what I did was sent to the Boy Scout Council to the ones who make the decision on his Eagle badge. I sent and said, it is not fair, it is not right to penalize that young man because the adults that were involved didn't do what they were supposed to do. My suggestion is that that young man receive his badge and just be asked to discuss what he may have done different or what could have been done different. And that isn't a matter of public record because I don't make it a habit of publicizing everything that I try and do. But I will tell you that that is slanderous, flat out, telling anybody and everybody that I hate the Boy Scouts. That is a flat lie, Steve.
Well, like I said, you pretty much proved it when you turned the boy in for every little thing that got done down
The
there.
boy never got turned in for anything.
Wow, you can.
You four
you
got
can-
turned in. The Boy Scout
You can
leader got
dress it up
turned
however
in
you want,
for no
but the only
permits.
one that got hurt is that Boy Scout.
Okay, and
Thanks,
and
Steve.
again, I will tell you that I said to them and said, my recommendation is that that boy get his badge.
Well, I'm glad you did that, to try and cover your tracks,
Okay.
because
well,
he deserved that.
All right, but the slander.
And I would hope that maybe
And the
next
lie.
year, if another Boy Scout comes down and wants something, that you wouldn't try and bury him like you did this one.
I didn't try to bury anybody. What I did was turn you four in for not bothering to
And
get
did you think
permits.
that wasn't
Which
gonna
you
stop
did
his
not.
project?
Did you get permits prior to it, Steve?
That was the
We
Boy
asked
Scouts.
specifically,
doing.
what else does he need to do? Why didn't you bring up that he needed to get these permits to do that project down there then?
Okay.
I mean, if you
because
knew so
wasn't
much about
involved in
these,
it.
Mike, you were sitting here at all these board meetings.
Because I wasn't involved in
You were
it.
sitting here at all these board
We
meetings.
never had a
and when
meeting
we asked
outside of this
specifically,
board
what
meeting
else
with
do
that
we
Boy
need to
Scout?
do?
That's also a
You
lie.
didn't bring anything up.
That is also a lie.
Move on, you're done.
That is also a lie.
Yeah, well, we know who's lying here, Mike, let's move on.
Jim, Sherry's not here, but she has the minutes from the April 11th.
There are several minutes here that we'd like to get entered into the record.
Okay, well, let me take a look at them.
No, you don't get to take a
Yeah,
look
I
at
do
them, Mike.
get to
You
take a
get
look
to
at 'em.
vote on whether they get
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
admitted.
if that's all we're going to do, then I'll return them to you.
Mike, you're the
and tell you
clerk,
I will not
and you
accept those.
work at what we
You
asked
do what
you to
you're told, that's
Okay,
it.
what I just told you is those will not be accepted. If that's
It's
a
not
problem
up to
for
you to
then
accept
sue
that.
me.
To accept, it's up to
Jim.
us to vote on.
Okay, well.
Jim,
Get
what-
control of your
what do you-
clerk,
they've
man,
been-
White.
they've been
Get control of your
returned-
clerk,
They've been
please.
returned
Okay.
to you.
Mike, would you hold up for a second? After listening to this wonderful conversation again here, you guys know that I set the agenda 2 days before we have a meeting. And you guys, responsibility as board members, one of your jobs is to
These have
contact
been
me
on a
and to
request
give,
for an agenda item for months.
listen.
I am listening, but
Yeah.
you're not listening to
I
us.
have asked you, it'll be a year ago today, in the month of May of 2011, for all of you to contact me to tell me what your village goals are, to work with me
To accept
possibly on
these
different
minutes.
things you wanna do.
That's my goal for tonight.
Yeah, I know, but you guys don't wanna talk to me about nothing. You guys have all your little
Jim, I've
meetings.
tried to talk to you on multiple occasions,
And
and
here
it
we
got
are
me
again.
nowhere.
Leo, you
Got
haven't
me
spoke to me
nowhere.
since the last board meeting, and then we yell at each other at the board meetings. You had another month that went by, and neither one of you three wanna speak again. You're gonna come in here and you wanna present stuff at the last minute without giving me a chance to read it and preview it before I put it on the agenda. That's my right. I have the right to review whatever it is that I'm gonna put on the agenda for everybody to approve. If you don't think I have that right, then you show me where I don't. But I'm not it's not on the agenda, and it's not gonna be accepted today.
Okay.
Oh, now you have something today. Well, I don't have time to read it, I'll read it tomorrow, maybe
Okay.
next month, we'll put them on the agenda for you.
Maybe, I make a motion that these be put on the agenda for next month.
Second.
Well, there you go, got a motion.
It's been seconded.
All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Got one opposed.
3-1.
You guys won.
Yeah?
It's 3-1, you got something. Maybe we'll put them on the agenda. Give those to me so that I can review them between now and next month.
That's what I
How
brought
can
them
you
in here
review
for, Mike.
minutes that you haven't went to the
Gentlemen, you
meeting?
don't understand. And I've tried to have this conversation with you multiple times over the course of several years, and it has become so contentious that I don't wanna have these conversations outside the boardroom anymore.
Really?
Really? It's true, Jim.
Tell me
I've told you
how,
this multiple times now, and that's why the committees are right here in the public venue, because I'm not talking
You know what?
behind Mr. Merrill's back.
You know what they're
So that
for?
we can discuss everything
Let me tell you
that
something.
needs to be gone on.
Let me tell you what's going on. There are 4 people in here four board members that don't consider the other 2 board members, Chad White or Jason Shedder. You never
no,
talk to
you
the 2
got
of them about
Jason,
anything.
you got Jason where he won't even come to the
Yeah,
meeting.
he won't even come to meetings
Yeah.
because of you 4.
No, it's because of you two.
Because of you 4.
No, that's rich, Jim.
There you
That's
go.
rich.
But anyway,
How
So-
do you guys expect to review
Exactly what he
minutes
said.
to a meeting that you didn't attend?
Sorry.
Tell me that.
I didn't.
But
But it's
So
your
your point-
responsibility, if you
so your
have a
point then is
meeting,
what?
It's our responsibility to
to
take the minutes.
contact me and talk to me about what you discussed.
Here they are, it's right here.
I'm talking about talking to me, Steve.
No, it has to be in
Oh,
minutes.
no.
On-
I'm
in a
talking about
file.
talking to me once in your life, 5 minutes out of your time, Steve, in the 30 days that transpire between meetings. I'm not good enough for that, am I, Steve? No,
Want minutes or not? I mean,
If
if
I'm
we
not
have a
enough to
meeting
talk
and you're
to,
not
Steve,
there,
you're not good enough to be on the agenda.
I'm not asking to be on the agenda, these are minutes from the meeting.
That's rich.
Is that the meeting you had this past month?
April 11th,
That would be the one that was posted over here on the side of the hall,
and out
That
front,
nobody
and
knew?
up on the hill, and, yeah.
where 3 of you contacted the clerk properly to get it posted?
Jim,
Yeah.
if you read that
I'm
letter
sure he got an email
from the
saying-
Attorney General that I just brought to you.
I'll read that. I'll be
Very
glad
good.
to read that,
Very
along
good.
with your minutes.
Very good.
Last item we have on the agenda, boys and girls, is possibility of approving the April minutes from last month. Get a motion for that, if not, we can adjourn. That sounds like it's gonna die for lack of a motion. How about somebody adjourns?
I have a question.
Hey, there's a meeting on May 14th.
You have
that
something to say,
Mr. Oakman
Jen?
has asked me to announce to you with the lawyer
Got a meeting for April 14th, you say?
at 6 PM on bylaws. He is gonna help put in some bylaws on May 14th at 6 PM. He wanted me to inform you, so now you know about the meeting. So you can show or not show.
Oh, did you talk to the lawyer then, did you?
I personally did not.
Okay.
This is, Sherry had me, so she couldn't be here.
Forward some information.
Yep.
All right, great. Do you have something else, Chad?
Motion, pass the minutes for April.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of?
Hi.
Aye.
All opposed? You guys have it. Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Dan's got something.
You got somebody back there wants to talk.
Dan? Did you please?
Without feeling like I'm opening a gas can in the middle of a firestorm, I would like to pick up the remote and change the channel just for a minute. And we're gonna go to Mr. Rogers' channel, the fundraiser. It didn't make it down the agenda, my mistake, I was going to ask, but I didn't get it in time. No one else seemed to have decided to ask about it, so with time dwindling and the clock's running out, I'm not allowed to make a motion, but I would like to have a little discussion on how we can quell the storm and have our annual Rock the River. This kind of extends past all problems, political, personal. This is like something that's across the street. This is something that the town needs because we're shrinking. We went through the audit last week, or last month, and our numbers seem to be going down. And if I'm not mistaken, when this first started 8 years ago, This was to pay for the mowing, because we got kind of thrown upon us 37 lots that needed mowing. It seems to be an event that never loses money. There are questions. There are questions about procedures, understandably, but you're going to have that. This town seems to have it more than others. But they got us a pavilion, they got us a boat ramp, and it got us a playground. Major capital improvements that never had to come out of the taxpayers' money.
Sure it did.
Well, it was what it was supposed to be designated for. But by bringing it back into the realm of paying for the mowing, it is their only fundraiser of the season. I haven't heard it brought up. I would imagine the discussion will last about 8 seconds. But I would like to know if there's any possibility of us having it, because I have the after party next door, and the 20 keg, or the 2 kegs and the 20 cases and the fire you can see from space is all kind of on hold. And all my 40 or 50 friends always go over and get a wristband. So we kind of support it, even though we're not vending, but I tell everybody go get a wristband. So this party enhances mine has a great time with yours. I can't ask that we put aside things. I can't ask this. But I can say that I've been here for 30 years, and I know almost everybody at that table. My kids grew up with you, Chad. When I was in the house down the river, staying for 3 weeks in February, Leo was the one that offered me a hot bowl of soup on my way out. Said the only thing I see is my wife waiting up there, and that's all I want. Mike, one of your best friends, is my cousin. One of the guys you know really well. Jim, I coached Matt at baseball. You coached my son how not to drive through your cornfield in his first car. Thank you for that. Steve, we worked on jobs before in construction. When I pull up and I see you on the machine, I'm so glad I got an operator that's not going to get me killed. And I'm hoping you're looking at it saying, there's Dano, the truck driver with a half a brain.
You know it.
Rich, when the flood came in and left all the debris down there, I was down there helping you out, and I know you did a really good job down there. See, I have ties with everybody. I can't be political. But as far as this goes, I have volunteered to do this on my own. I have volunteered, I've talked to Jim, I've talked to a few other people. I will put this Rock the River on myself. I will finance this myself. That's how much I want it. But then when I go home and tell my wife, she says, well, it's not the money's there, but if you do this, you'll be political. That means you're going to step on somebody's toes. That means you're going to take sides. You have to let this town heal on its own. It's like an appendicitis wound. It's going to have to heal on its own. And I have to agree with her because I've never been political. I've had the opportunity to sit on that board. I've had the opportunity, after being here for 30 years, to step up and do something. But I know that when you do this, when you take that, when you got your name on one of those placards, you can't help but be political. And I would rather walk into anybody's house and sit down and eat dinner with them every night than to have my name on that placard. So I'm asking to step aside, and can we have Rock the River? And if you say yes, then we need to get started on it, and the guy is standing right here to get it rolling. Because I talked to Aaron about financing this myself, and he said all you need is $15,000. I said I can put it in your hands tomorrow. But if I do, my wife said you're just going to make enemies, and I will not do that. I'm asking the board and the town to heal. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, man, yeah.
It's not on the agenda.
No, that's the whole point. Richard just made it. It's not on the agenda.
Do you have another one of these?
So if you're gonna have it, you're gonna have to have a special meeting.
I don't know
Because
if
you
you
can't
have
talk
time.
about that right, you can't make any decisions right now. We'll be breaking OMA laws. You wanna have a special meeting, we can set one up for Tuesday or something, or whatever.
If somebody wants to put together a meeting to work on that, I am for them.
First, we have to find out, does everybody agree that we want it?
I've never
Well,
been against it.
Yes or
man.
no?
I've never been against it.
My
Accountability.
objection is, they don't have the money this year, so we're gonna have to use general funds money, and I really don't like that idea. Because that's a gamble,
And I understand.
and there's a lot of people in this town that don't, not the ones in this room maybe so much, but the people of the town are against that.
And I understand you feel it.
2,000 in that fund.
But it's never, and I understand that. They need 5,000 up front, and in 3 days, we make 4. Minimum. We've never lost money. I'm not asking you to roll the dice and gamble with people's money. I'm really not.
Since it's such limited funds, I think you gotta cut it back to a one-day event if you do have it.
Can I say something? Just to that point, Rich? I've helped organize this event for the last 3-4 years. Going to one day is limiting yourself. We've had severe thunderstorms come through. Friday night saved the event. Because it was 2 days, it saved it. And it doesn't really cost any more money except for the 2 bands that you hire for Friday night. You've got to set everything up anyway. There's no extra tearing down. And believe it or not, you're covering your ass, and if anything, you're going to make more money in the long run. And I'm not talking just this event. I've been with the JCs for over 20 years. I run fundraisers. So I do know a little bit. You started a great event. 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 This town and the guy that brought the idea together started a great event. Merrill said, if you're going to do it 1, why not 2? There's the other guy that's been supporting this since the beginning. I understand one day, you look like you're cutting back. You're not losing. The only thing you're doing is limiting yourself. That's all I got to say.
What we're not doing is turn up our town for 2 days for the people that don't want it. Because there are people here that don't want it also.
I fully understand it. Not everybody's going to agree with it.
Exactly.
So
you have
and that's
to look at
respectful.
both sides.
No,
Not everybody wants
and
it.
I understand
And
that.
there's more people that do not want you using general fund to finance it than there is people that do want you to use general funds to finance it, barring the people in this room. So we have to reach a compromise to get my vote.
Okay. You can't ask all the people, we can't ask all the people who come in here that don't want to use general funds one by one to make the issue. We know that we need $5,000 to start the ball rolling. $5,000. You have $2,000 in general fund. I will put $2,500 with it of my own money to roll it. We don't have to ask anybody else. Now, I understand that it's a bold statement and that the board does not have to recognize a private party individual teaming up with the village. And there's gonna be people that don't want private parties teaming up with the village because of special favors. I'm not asking for any special favors, I'm asking to have it. I understand your point, I really do, and I respect the point that you don't wanna use general funds.
For everybody.
You don't wanna use general funds, and there's people who will just scream up and then down the wall if you use general funds for this, especially the ones that doesn't. But if you wanna throw that money in.
We need to set up a meeting, if you guys, at all considering it, we
That's
need
the
to
whole
set up a
point.
meeting, because we can't do anything tonight.
Right,
There's not a damn thing we can do tonight.
but you've gotta set up a meeting quick.
Yes.
Yeah,
You've got
quick.
8 weeks. So if you wanna make it next Tuesday,
You gotta talk to the guy
Well,
first.
somebody can have, committee meetings can be had by the committees.
but we want all the people to be on the committee. We don't want just
There's-
these people, or these people, or these people, or these people to be, everybody
If you-
needs
if
to
you
be
want the
involved.
Jim, if I do nothing else this evening, I want to impress upon you one more time that the 6 board members are your committee.
Right.
If you call an entire board meeting, chances are you're gonna get the majority of the board to show up and we can take action on something then, if you'll put it on the agenda. But if you don't do that, and we talk off to the side, in secret, have a little meeting off to the side, What good does it do? This man wants an answer about something.
But I
We've
don't,
talked about this in the past, it never gets brought up. Please, do it.
but wait, I want an answer on something, but I wanna do it correctly.
That's,
I
and,
do-
and
like
that's
I
what
said,
we're asking
like
Mayor
you
White
said.
to do, is set it up.
I'm just asking for some people that are interested. Dan and Aaron have said something to me about it. I haven't heard any of you guys say.
Well, you know,
wanna
if
have a
you
meeting.
post it
That's
as a meeting
put on the
with
agenda
notice,
for a
maybe
long-
you'll get enough people down here that you'll get responses about this. But if we have it off to the side on some separate issue, then all it is board members coming in here and rehashing a discussion. This is what the Open Meetings Act is about, Jim.
Right. I've
So
understood
let's do
that.
it. So let's do
I've
it.
understood that.
Well, you know,
What if you guys pick a day that you wanna have a meeting?
Make a motion or something,
Just pick a day.
Richard just talked about it a little bit ago.
Pick a day. Did you say next Thursday? Next
Dan,
Tuesday?
I don't know if
Tuesday, but I
you've
don't
got
care.
enough time, Dan, honestly.
I asked Aaron that, I said, if we found out something in this meeting, which it can be, and
Can't
it
find out
looks
this
like,
meeting.
it looks like it might go, then, if it looks like it might go, and we're putting a committee meeting together to decide whether or not it goes, then Aaron starts his ball rolling now. If it would've got shot down right here and now, Aaron and I would've walked out the door, no problem.
It's all
No
about
harm-
accountability.
No harm, no foul, but all I wanna do is get a feel of the room to see if this is a possibility or a chance, or it's got a chance to
It's
pass.
also about responsibility too.
Right, right.
Anyway, you guys got a meeting scheduled for, you wanna plan on, you're talking next Thursday,
I said Tuesday, but I don't care.
Well,
It doesn't
it-
matter to me.
Wednesday?
if it's already gonna be in,
You're
what was the
looking at a
date that
time
you-
deadline here, so the
14?
sooner they know, the better. They're working on a short schedule, so the sooner they know, the better.
Well, you can talk about anything, whether there's a sport. You can decide once you have the meeting whether there's time or not. There's still a lot of year left, it doesn't have to be done in June. But anyway,
Well, and that won't-
Sounds
That's
like
a
it.
mistake.
Yeah, it
We
won't
can get that
coincide
on
with
the agenda.
Dan's
That's a mistake.
party.
That's, no, that's a mistake moving it.
Yeah.
I can put my party
I
anytime, but
agree.
that's a mistake moving it, because there's
I
people
agree
that
with you
know
there,
that
that's why I
weekend
don't think you got
as being here.
Jim, what is June?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Next Tuesday, what is next Tuesday? The date on the calendar?
In the calendar next Tuesday.
Tim?
Wait a minute, this is April. The eighth.
Next Tuesday, the 8th. If
you guys wanna get together and talk about Rock River on the eighth, you can do that. You guys, you have something, I don't remember what you said, the attorney was coming.
The
Sure, you
14th.
wanna have a meeting on the 14th.
Speaking of attorneys, I see you got a bill here.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
preliminary bill that he sent.
Just so everybody knows, we met, the new lawyer has been to one meeting, and we have a $3,000 bill,
Got $3,000 racked up.
just to keep you informed.
You bet. So anyway, make a motion to adjourn, anybody?
Are you gonna set the meeting or not?
Motion to adjourn.
You said the 12th, you got a meeting on the 12th, you got one on the 14th, sound like.
The 8th, May, it's a Tuesday.
What time?
Anybody adjourn or not?
I made the motion.
Second.
All right, we got a second.
Thank you. All in favor of?